Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm your social worker for today.
Hi, nice to meet you.
What brings you in?
Well, lately I've just been feeling really stressed and anxious, and it's just a lot going on in my life that I don't know how to deal with.
Okay, and what's going on in your life that you're not sure of what to do?
Mainly my parents are a problem. I still live at home with my parents,
Okay.
and I'm in college, and my mom abuses, drugs, and my dad is really heavy into alcohol, so there's a lot of stress there, and I have to take on the role of everything in the house while I'm going to college and paying the bills. And money goes missing sometimes. And I think it's my parents, but I'm not sure, and I just feel really alone
Okay.
in that.
And do you have any support? Do you have anyone to help you?
Not really, no, and that's part of the problem.
Okay. And how do you feel? Like, do you keep everything inside, or tell me about your feelings?
Yeah, I tend to kind of keep everything inside because I don't like to talk about it, which is why I'm here.
Okay.
I don't really have like a big group of friends or a boyfriend or anything like that.
Okay. So, about your parents, I know that you said that they're abusing drugs and alcohol. Is it a combination of both, or is it every day?
Yeah, it's almost every day.
Okay, and how long has this been going on?
A couple years.
Okay, so you've been
With
dealing
my mom especially.
You've been dealing with this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how does that make you feel since you've been holding it in for so long?
It just makes me feel like they don't care. My mom got into drugs and my dad started drinking, so obviously they don't care about me and my life and my needs and my future.
Okay. And do you have any brothers or sisters or anybody that can help you?
I do have two brothers and a sister, but they don't live at home. I'm the only one left at home dealing with this, and they just kind of left and don't want to be bothered with it.
Okay. And are you close with them, or
Yeah, I'm close with my sister.
so could you reach out to your sister for help?
Yeah, I guess I should do that.
I mean,
More than I do.
Do you feel comfortable with talking to her about it?
Yeah, I just don't want to bother her with it. I feel like I have to take on everything myself.
And that's not, you can't internalize everything and take everything yourself. So are you the only one that lives in the house with your parents?
Yes.
Yeah. And you said that you were paying the bills?
Some of them, yeah. So when there's not enough money to go around, I work two jobs, and sometimes I have to pay the mortgage in order to have somewhere to live.
Okay.
And it's a lot of stress on me.
Okay. Do you have any family that knows what's going on, or does everyone just not really?
Everyone kind of pretends like it's not happening because it's like out of sight, out of mind. And I do have my grandmom and my grandparents, but they're the same thing. They don't want to kind of believe what's going on in the house.
Okay, so tell me more about your grandparents. Have you talked to them? Like, are they aware of exactly what's happening? Have you told them the extent?
I think they're aware of it, but they're not aware of the extent of how bad it's gotten.
And how bad is it?
It's pretty bad. I mean, they fight all the time over the drugs and over money. So there's some physical violence between the two of them.
Physical violence, like harm, are you in danger?
No, not with me, just with each other.
Okay. This is a safe place, so whatever you say, you can definitely talk about what's going on. You say there's domestic violence, so what extent is the domestic violence?
Just like pushing and shoving, smacking.
Okay, do the cops ever get involved?
A couple times they've had to come out to the house and kind of break things up, but nothing ever happens. It's just a domestic dispute.
Okay, so it sounds like it's not, do you feel safe in your environment?
Physically, yes. Emotionally, no.
Okay. So is there someone else that maybe you could go live with to not be in that environment and not be around it so much? Or what have you done to kind of not really fix the situation, but kind of deal with the situation?
Not much. I just kind of deal with it on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, and what does your day-to-day basis look like?
I get up, I go to school, I come home, I go to work, and then I come home and have to deal with them. And it's worse at night, obviously, and I try, I don't have a lot of friends, so I'm just kind of like stuck in the house with nowhere to go.
Okay, and why don't you have a lot of friends? Do you not hang out with a lot of people, or you just kind of keep to yourself because of what happens at home?
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed. I don't want anybody coming over my house to see it.
Are you involved in things in school?
Not really, no. I just kind of go to school, do my work, and go home and go to work.
Okay, and what do you go to school for?
Marketing.
Marketing, okay. And how do you like that?
I like it.
You like it? Is
Yeah.
it like
I can't wait to graduate and actually get out and have a real job. And
so it sounds like you have a positive in your life that you're involved in. School seems like it's a positive and it's kind of like a light for you to get out of the house and not.
Yeah, it's kind of my happy place.
It's your happy place.
School and work, because anything that's not when I'm not home is my happy place.
And what do you do for work?
I'm a waitress.
Okay. So you said about your sister. You said about your sister. So how did your sister help the situation? Like, does she ever come to the house to see you?
No.
Do you ever go stay with her?
I'll go stay with her sometimes, but she won't come to the house because she doesn't want to be around it. She doesn't want to deal with it. And she's got a family and kids, and I feel bad going over there or asking if I can live there instead. Because I don't want to put pressure on her or put her out.
But have you expressed it to her, maybe, that you could stay there sometimes?
No, because I feel bad.
You feel bad. Does she have like a whole? How many kids does she have?
2.
2 kids. Okay. And you said you have a brother.
Yeah, but we're not really close.
You're not close.
No, he doesn't live close to us. We see him at like family parties and things like that, but he's not ever around.
Okay. And how old is your brother?
25. Okay.
And do you have any other addictions in your family besides your mom and dad?
No, I mean, the whole family, they'll drink on occasion, but nothing like my parents are. And I don't know why they're still together, because all they do is fight, and I guess they both have nowhere else to go.
Okay. And how does it make you feel that that's all they do? Sorry. And it's probably tough for you, so you can take your time.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How does it make you feel that they're... What are you thinking about right now?
Just how unhappy the whole situation is. I'm unhappy. My mom and dad are unhappy. I don't want to make my brother and sisters unhappy. That's why I kind of don't get them involved in it.
Okay, so let's take a second and let's focus on you.
Okay.
What do you think you could do to make yourself happy?
Well, I think once I graduate and get a job and hopefully move out on my own, I'll be happy. But then I'll feel bad about leaving that situation, and because I don't know what's going to happen to them. I want to fix everything, but I can't.
So it sounds like it's kind of a burden on you.
And I'm trying to get at least my mom into rehab, but she won't go, and it's a big thing. So I don't know if she should talk to somebody else, or if I should talk to somebody else to try and get her into a rehab.
Maybe we can get some resources together for you that will help her go to rehab, so that we can see what the options are for her and for you as well, because I think that's definitely, resources will be good, because then she can see what the outcome is,
Right.
or what her options are, because there's more than one option. Does she have a job?
No.
No.
She's been on disability for ever.
For a while.
Yeah, which is how she got into the drugs, because she was in a car accident and she was started with the pills, and then she got addicted to the pills, and that led to other things.
Okay. And how does that make you feel, seeing that for so long?
Frustrated.
Frustrated?
Yeah. And
What do
that's
you,
not how she raised us.
okay. And what about your dad?
So, and he was kind of the domino effect of her getting addicted to drugs. He went into a depression and then started drinking all the time because of her. And he has a job, but
What does he do for work?
he's just in sales.
Okay.
But sometimes he, can't get up to go to work because he's too hungover, or he gets in trouble from work for calling out. So he's kind of borderline with his job right now.
Okay.
And if he loses his job, then it's like I'll be paying all the bills.
What do you think? Have you ever talked to him about rehab?
No, because we haven't always had the best relationships, and it's not really easy to talk to.
Okay. What's your relationship like?
It's just kind of there. We don't really talk.
Has this been for a while, or is there a reason why?
No, we just never were close. I was always closer with my mom.
Okay.
But now I'm not, because she's not really there mentally. So it's not the same mom that I had.
So when you're at home, what does your life look like? Obviously, you don't talk to your mom and dad. So is there someone that you can talk to that can help you? I know that you said your grandparents. What do you think they would do if you came and talked to them?
I think they would be helpful.
Do they support you?
Yeah.
Is it your mom's grandparents or your dad's?
My mom's.
Your mom's, okay.
And I don't want to upset them because they're older and everything else, but they would be a good place for me to start, to have someone to talk to about it.
Okay. And do they live on their own?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm concerned about your living situation because it doesn't sound like it's a 100% safe environment. So,
right. I just kind of lock myself in my room.
Okay, what are your other options, do you think?
For living?
Mm-hmm. Like I know you said your sister isn't really an option. What about your grandparents? Do you think they're an option?
In the meantime, in the interim, until I save up enough money to get my own place, I think my grandparents would probably be the best option, because they do have an extra room and they are near my school and my work.
So what do you think would happen if you came to talk to them about this?
I'm sure they would be very open to it. I feel bad putting anybody else out, which is why I haven't done so yet.
Right, but if you're in an unsafe environment, you have to think about yourself. It doesn't sound like you're happy in your environment. It doesn't sound like it's very good for you because of the emotional and the physical abuse.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like. How would you feel if you had to go live with your grandparents? I mean, it sounds like you already pay some of the bills at your house now.
Right, and I'd rather help my grandmother pay her bills than help them pay their bills when they're putting all their money towards drugs and alcohol.
Well, then do you think that since you just said you would rather help your grandmother pay her bills, do you think that's an idea? Because then you really aren't putting her out if you're offering her to help pay her bills with her while you're going to school and you're working.
Yeah, I could definitely talk to her and see what she thinks. And that might be a good option for me, instead, just to get out and be less stress on me if I had a different living situation.
Yeah, because it sounds like you have, you're still young, you're going to school, you're trying to do what you have to do, and you're kind of in a hard environment that's not something you should be dealing with, and you're by yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't really have anyone to talk to.
Right.
And you don't really have
And I would like to get my sister more involved, but I just have to get past the part of not wanting to bother people.
Yeah, you have to definitely try and talk to them, because you're not a burden, it's your sister.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think I should talk to her maybe within the next couple weeks.
Okay, so one of the goals for your situation right now, what do you want to make a goal?
I guess definitely reach out to my sister and kind of let her know how I'm feeling, that I can't do it by myself, and I need her help. guess, talk to my grandparents about the idea of living there instead of living at home.
Okay, they're realistic goals, and I feel like it would help you get out of the situation that you're in. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not. I feel like once you get out of that situation, maybe you'll be able to heal. So if you have those goals in mind, that might definitely. Um, what do you think will happen when you leave?
That's what I'm scared of. I don't know what's going to happen. Because they're still my parents and I still love them, but I don't want anything bad to happen to them, but they need a wake up call. So if I'm not there as their crutch, then maybe they'll.
So, are you afraid to leave because you're scared something's going to happen to them?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why I haven't.
So, what could you do to make yourself less scared?
I guess if I do end up moving out, I guess I could just follow up with them and not just, totally leave and never talk to them again. Check up on them, once or twice a week, and maybe, use the resources to try and get my mom into a rehab. If she'll go. I don't know if she'll go, but I'll try.
Okay.
I would feel a lot better if she was in rehab and leaving.
That's definitely that's a good goal, definitely, is following up with them. Because if you're following up with them, at least you know still what's going on, and it'll ease your mind a little bit.
And if I can't follow up with them, then my sister can follow up with them too, once she knows how I'm feeling and what exactly is going on.
And she can be there for support as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about your family situation?
No. It's just a lot of stress all in one house. Stress from school and stress from work because I need the money to help my parents.
So
it's a big domino effect.
Let's just focus on one thing. What about school? What's stressing you out about school?
Just the hours that I have to go. I mean, I'm a full-time student and I work full-time.
Okay.
So it's a lot.
It must be a lot on you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
And how does that make you feel?
Just overwhelmed sometimes.
Okay.
Because there's so much to do and not enough hours in the day to do it.
Okay. And when you feel overwhelmed like that or you feel stressed like that, what do you do to kind of alleviate that stress from your life?
Well, I don't really, I don't go out and party like other college kids do to relieve their stress. I just kind of internalize everything, and I'll just lock myself in my room and like listen to music or watch TV.
Okay. So, what do you think going forward? What do you think another outlet could be for you?
Well, it would be nice if I had someone, to talk to, or a boyfriend, or a social group of friends.
So, in order to get more interaction, what do you think that you could do?
Well, I definitely need to go out and socialize more because I'm so worried about everything that's going on at home. I don't make time to go out and socialize at all.
Okay. So, another goal for you, since you said socializing, what do you think? What's a realistic goal that you see yourself doing? Since you are busy with school, you are busy with work, what do you see as realistic?
Yeah, I mean, there are certain clubs in school
Okay.
that I should probably, especially with my major, that I should be socializing and networking in the clubs at school.
Okay. And what are you interested in?
Well, they do have a marketing, kind of a leadership program at school where they do, hands-on things, and they travel and they do different, seminars and stuff.
Okay.
So professionally, I really should look into that and join that, and socially.
Because then you can link up with people who are in your major, and then you'll have other friends that you can talk to.
Yeah.
So how do you get involved in this group?
I think I just have to talk to my professors, or the one professor that's in charge of it.
Okay.
And see. I don't really know what the steps are to get involved, so that would probably be the first step, is finding out how to go about getting into the program.
Okay, so that could be another goal. When do you see your professor next?
Next week.
Okay, so that could be another goal that next week when you go to class, either before or after class, you can talk to him about how you can get involved in this group so then you can have more socialization and you can become more involved with the school so that
Right.
you're not feeling so isolated because you definitely, it sounds like you definitely need to have an outlet of some sort and not just work, school, and home life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else, is there anything else that you think that you could do to get involved?
Well, like I don't like to go out and party. It's not really my thing. But there are other things in school. But with my job and everything else, I don't think I have time for a lot of things.
Okay.
So I think maybe just doing one thing at a time. Joining that one group maybe might lead to joining other things or doing different social activities
Okay.
at school or outside of school.
That's a good idea.
So I think I just start with the one.
Okay. And what about work? What do you do to help alleviate some of that stress? Do you have like work friends or anything like that?
No, work, I just kind of go in, I do my job, and I go home. So it's a restaurant, and it's very high school, catty, groups, and they all go out after work, and they have their little cliques, and I just don't want to be part of that.
Okay. Is there anyone that you could talk to at work?
I do have one friend at work that I kind of talk to, but again, we don't hang out outside of work because we have such different lives. And
Okay.
yeah, the stress from work really comes from not knowing how much money I'm going to be making every day.
Okay.
Being a waitress, I could make $20 a day, or I could make $100.
So how do you think that to help alleviate that stress, what do you think you could do?
I think I definitely need to get myself on a better budget
Okay.
for my money and think of like the worst case scenario for my tips that day, what they would be, and kind of budget from there.
Okay. So, how do you want to budget? Do you want to keep like a journal? Do you want to keep a log? Do you want to write everything down, keep receipts? How do you want, how will help you budget?
Well, I get the same paycheck every week, which isn't much, but it's still a paycheck, so that's a definite income. And then I guess maybe just over like a week's time, take like an average of how many tips I make that week or 2 weeks and kind of base my budget on that. And this is what I have to spend on this, and this is what I have to spend on my car and my phone and my bills, and that way I can kind of maybe hopefully save up some money because I have no money saved because I've been putting it all towards my parents' bills.
And how does that make you feel?
Like I'm wasting my money and my time, and it's not fair to me.
Right, it's not fair.
Yeah.
So, if you move in with your grandparents, what do you think? You think it'll be easier to budget your money?
I think so, because I won't be worried about my parents' bills.
Okay. So, do you think, how do you want to keep a log of budgeting your money?
I guess just write it down.
Okay. So go day by day, week by week?
Yeah.
Okay. That can definitely be another goal, is to budget your money so that you know exactly, and you know how much you're spending and how much you're, if you move in with your grandparents, you can find out how much you're putting into that.
Right.
And then it'll definitely help you, because then maybe it'll help you save money. You said that your money goes missing. Is that what you said?
Sometimes it's gone. I come home with cash tips, and I have to make sure that it's not visible for them because I feel like I can't prove it, but I'm almost 100% certain that money has gone missing, and I don't know if it's my mom or my dad. I think it's more my mom, because she needs money for the drugs or the pills or whatever she's doing that week. And it's like, $20, $40 here and there, and it's just hard because I worked hard for that money while she's home doing nothing, and then she's going to steal my money.
So in the meantime, what do you think you can do to like not have that happen?
Well, right now I don't have a bank account because I've always just had cash, and if I have to send a check, I send money orders and things like that. So I really do need to open up a checking account, and hopefully someday a savings account once I get.
Do you think that would help you if you set up a bank account?
Yeah, I'm just so used to always having cash on me as being a waitress all my life that it's going to take some time getting used to not having cash on me and just having a card.
Okay. So that could be another goal, maybe sometime in the near future. The next couple weeks, you can set up a bank account when you have time, and maybe it'll help you each week. You can even do a savings account, and what do you think would help you? Do you think a savings account and a checking account would help you?
Yeah, I definitely need both. I mean, checking account more for, my bills, and then the savings account, even if I just put like $50 in there, at least it's something to start with. And then once I get everything else figured out, I can figure out how much money I can put away into savings every week or every 2 weeks.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's something that you should look into, because I do think that will help you, because then you won't have cash, and then it won't be accessible for you, and maybe it'll help you budget your money.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good goal. It's just something I always kept saying I was going to do, and I just never got around to it.
And what do you think will make you do that?
To open up the checking account? As long as I give myself a timeline and I pick a day that I know I can go and do it.
Okay, so
like I don't work or go to school, or I don't work on Tuesdays, I only go to school. So maybe next Tuesday, I can set myself a reminder to actually go to the bank and do it.
I think that's a great goal, is to set the day, set the time, and make yourself physically go there and do it. I think that's definitely a great goal that you can set for yourself as well. Okay, so we have your initial goals, so we're gonna go over them again. You said you want to talk to your grandparents to kind of go over and see if you can live with them.
Yes.
You said that you wanted to talk to your sister at least once a week to try and get support from her and help you. What other goals did you want to do?
And the budgeting is a big one, so that'll lessen my stress of money.
Okay. And you said you were going to go on Tuesday to set up a bank account.
Right.
And then, go ahead.
And I'm going to talk to my professor next week about figuring out how to get socialized in school.
Try and get more involved.
Yeah.
We're going to see each other. How often do you think would help you? Do you think once a week, twice a week?
I think first maybe once a week, more frequently, and then as we go, hopefully it'll be less and less once I get everything straightened out and start hitting all my goals.
Okay. So for now, we'll see each other once a week for 1 hour.
Okay.
And I will see you again next Wednesday.
Okay.
And I think we're good.
Yes.
It was nice meeting you.
You too.
Thank you.